नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है करम योगी दिवाकर बोथरा और मैं आप सबका तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं अपनी सीरीज नो योर कॉन्सेप्ट्स इन 5 मिनट्स। आज का जो टॉपिक है, हमने काफी कॉन्सेप्ट्स डिस्कस किए हैं जो आपके डे टू डे लाइफ और एट द सेम टाइम प्रिपरेशन के अंदर वुड बी इक्वली यूजफुल. The today's concepts which we are going the concept of today which we are going to discuss is ecologism. Often in the recent past you would have seen that ecology has become the topic of hot debate. Every part of the world is talking about ecology, its protection, but at the same time the actions which we often take are not reflecting our concerns. Now in that circumstances, what is this ecologism? क्या है ये ecologism? If you look into the meaning, ecologism believes that nature is interconnected. It does not constitute only of humans, but it also consists of other living sources as well as inanimate objects, non-living resources. Therefore, just merely equating the nature or looking after the nature from the perspective of humans is something which is not acceptable. It adopts an ecocentric or biocentric perspective that accords priority to the nature over humans. So the core essence of ecologism is that humans should not be given a priority. But however, if you see that ecocentrism अगर हम देखें, एट द सेम टाइम बायोसेंट्रिसिज्म हम देखें, तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें यह पता चलता है कि इट्स द ह्यूमंस विच आर नॉट शुड बी गिवन प्रायोरिटी. अब हुआ क्या? Earlier, the approach was cosmocentrism. Cosmocentrism believed, kept the nature at the center, and took only actions which largely are not going to be antagonistic or not going to be contradictory to the nature's interest. But over a period of time, with the rise of development orientations and the development paradigm which we largely have, where the development is given priority over the nature, the humans became the center, and every actions were taken by keeping humans or the benefits of the humans into account, even if it has certain negative consequences on the larger matrix of nature. As a result of which an ideology started developing, which talked about who were largely considered as the button holders of ecology, or talking about the concerns of nature, leading to the rise of ecologism in society or in the political realms. Just a small amount of information. Our August batch is now open. You can take the admission. As far as this course is concerned, in 5 months span, we would largely cover the entire syllabus of sociology. Your handwritten notes, which will be given, the crux of the majority of the reference sources which you usually refer, would be taken care. You don't even have to study a single page outside this. Beside this, regular mentorship sessions are conducted personally by me after the classes as well. Friday is completely dedicated to doubt sessions. Every day, first 15 minutes is answer writing session. Every day, last 15 minutes is again doubt resolving sessions. And at the same time, that hand holding approach, which you certainly require if your optional is something like that of sociology, would be given. And yes, don't trust my words. Just go back to the playlist in the very platform which you're seeing this video, see the very sociology videos and demo videos which we have uploaded there, and then when you have that faith, come back to the batch and really take your sociology to next level. I assure you that everything which I've said would not only be fulfilled but would be qualitatively fulfilled. Have that faith, join the batch, and really feel the difference. You can use the code DivLife or any other faculty code which you have in order to get a discount, rather than paying a high fees of 15,009 fees of 20,499. You can just use the faculty code in order to get it at a better discounted price. Now let's look into the type of ecologism. Because this ideology has been used by different people from different perspectives, there are different forms of ecologism which have developed. One is called as deep ecology. It largely focuses on, completely rejects the belief that the human species is in any way, some way superior than the other species. The rights of the animals according to deep ecology are should be given equal priority, if not more, when compared to the rights of humans. The organizations such as PETA and others can be clearly seen practicing deep ecology. On the other hand, shallow ecology is that form of ecologism where we need to serve the natural world to sustain humans. Therefore, harnessing the natural world or the nature to human needs, that clearly indicates that we need to largely protect the nature, not for the sake of nature but for the sake of humans. Therefore, we do see certain primacy given to humans when compared to others, but however, that primacy does not mean that it's anti-nature. Rather than nature needs to be sustained if the human sustenance has to be ensured. uh, Ecofeminism is another trait within ecologism, where the ecofeminist advocates it is the patriarchy which is responsible for the very harms which we are largely putting up to the very nature, as they believe it is the human which is largely a nature dimension, and because of the patriarchal mindsets, the very nature which has a feminine characteristics is often been largely subordinated. Although it looks bit exaggerated, but it certainly does help us in tackling the crises which are largely present in the ecology or in the ecological world. At the same time, reactionary ecologism, which is more conservative in nature, which tries to advocate that the conservation of the nature largely needs to be linked because it largely defends the traditional social order. Therefore, here the goal is not to merely conserve the nature, but the nature is conserved with the purpose that to maintain the existing way of things. Therefore, it is much more conservative in nature. Further, if we go, the history of ecologism, if you have to see, the history of ecologism started first with the rise of industrial revolutions, when the impacts of industrial revolutions started impacting the society in a in a negative manner. The people started developing an alternative ideologies in the forms of ecologism, where they started talking about protecting the nature in order to sustain the humans. But however, modern ecologism, which is largely the result of 1960s, from 1960s, which where the concern is focused on pollution and the forest degradations. Therefore, in the initial phase, the origin lies in the industrial revolutions, but over a period of time, the different concerns of ecologism have shifted from anti-industrial policies, anti-capitalistic policies, to the policies which are against the nature, manifested in the forms of pollutions and deforestations. So, therefore, if this is the way you want to learn the very concepts, then do join our sociology batch. These concepts, although are not purely sociological, these are going to be useful irrespective of the humanity optional which you have for civil services, or appearing for your graduation exams, or appearing largely to understand the society or know the things which are largely present in order to largely debate it when the right time appears. But agar sociology ke andar, if you really want to develop a solid grip, then this is the batch. August batch, it can clearly be set. Therefore, we are celebrating our independence this month, and do become independent of every dependency once you largely get dependent on this. Thank you so much. Namaskar.